Hey guys, what is going on? It is your friendly neighborhood Cyberman, and welcome to my Backlash 2016 predictions. And man, am I excited for Backlash. Backlash has quite an interesting card compared to pay-per-views previous. It's quite a different pay-per-view because this is the first. I'm pretty sure this is the first brand exclusive pay-per-view. Because the first one for Raw should be Clash of Champions, if I could even say that. Clash of Champions. And this is Backlash. This is SmackDown's first solo, brand-only pay-per-view. So we get a taste of what these pay-per-views are going to be like. And man, I have to say, there's only a couple of matches, but I think that the matches that are there have a bit of story in them. And, there mightn't be a lot of them. But that's a good thing because, more time for matches and all that. So I think this is going to be a solid pay-per-view. SmackDown has been quite solid the last few weeks, and I don't know, there rarely is a bad SmackDown show. It always has its purpose. There's character development. There's story. Raw can be a mixed bag. But let's get into this. So I'm looking here on Wikipedia. I've got the matches here on my phone, and I'm gonna go through each one of them. So on the screen right now, you're looking at some Usos versus Heath Slater and Rhino, and I think you can kind of get a feel for where I'm going with some of my predictions from that alone. But we'll start off with the tag team tournament, which is quite exciting. You got the underdog story of Heath Slater and Rhino, and Heath Slater getting over, and it's just so exciting. Heath's been really great the last while. I'm hoping now that the Usos have turned heel that there isn't a situation where, it would be good for the Usos to turn heel, take the tag team championships, and have a feud with American Alpha and just kind of let the Heath Slater thing blow over. But I feel like the writers in SmackDown, if this was on Raw, this is what would go down. Heath Slater and Rhino would lose in the finals against the Usos. Well, if it was Raw, the Usos probably wouldn't have turned heel, and the Usos will be hated and yada yada yada, and Heath Slater and Rhino will just go back into obscurity. That's just kind of how it goes on Raw. But on SmackDown, I've got a bit of hope for one of those feel-good moments with Heath Slater. The crowd is loving him. They were chanting him during segments on Raw, all that stuff. Ever since he's done the free agent thing, I think it's time to top off the story here with a win. So Hype Bros versus the Usos. Usos are now heel, so Usos with the win, and then the final match, Heath Slater and Rhino take the win over the Usos. Maybe a distraction from American Alpha to help them because of the attack that the Usos did. I don't want the Usos to win the tag team titles, and I know how much heat that would give them. Everyone would I hate the Usos. Usos are horrible. They would get a lot of heat for it, but I think it's better to have the feel-good story with the tag team champions being Rhino and Heath Slater and see where they go with that, because they've been having great segments lately and just great stuff, like really exciting stuff going down. Rhino being the animal, Heath is kind of like the underdog. Get the hot tag into Rhino just obliterates the competition. But I'm just hoping that they win it. I'm just hoping that Heath and Rhino, they get the win that they deserve. Heath deserves the win. He deserves the tag team championships, and no messy booking, just give it right to them. Have a good match, have a good thing, and don't make them lose it in a week. Don't make Heath a jobber just for the sake of it. Give him the titles, let them run with it. Let them do their thing. They've been stealing the show the last while, so go ahead with it. Now, to move on, we'll go on to the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton match. Now, this match, I don't know what it is, guys, but when I'm looking at a Randy Orton match, I'm not too excited. And Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, it's quite exciting. If I'm gonna say anyone's gonna win, I hope Bray wins, but I think Randy's gonna take the win here. Randy lost his big match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and I think they're gonna try to build him up off that, maybe for a rematch, maybe not. Maybe they'll want to build Bray off Randy, but I don't know if maybe, because Randy Orton is kind of casual, he's not exactly full-time anymore. Well, he's had a few moments where he's kind of taking breaks and stuff. I don't know if he's back full-time for good, match every week, doing house shows, everything, but maybe he's going to give the win to Bray Wyatt. Maybe the SmackDown writers are a lot different than we thought, because for the most part, the Raw writers seemed a bit sporadic and spontaneous, and the heel was always seemed to be winning, and there was no babyface crowning moment, bar with Roman Reigns, but no one really wanted to see that. So I'm hoping the SmackDown writers have something good. Maybe finally give Bray Wyatt that win he deserves at the pay-per-view. He builds up all the pay-per-views against his opponent, and he always loses. And I know Bray obviously is the heel in this situation, but Bray has never had that moment where he's just won And I think that Bray needs that win more than Randy does, because Randy is a star. Randy's up there with John Cena. Then we'll move on to the next match here. Let's go on to The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. Now, this match hasn't, Dolph Ziggler kind of had his thing with the WWE Championship. He lost it. Now he's gone into a program with The Miz. The Miz has been doing wonderful stuff. He cut that really great promo on Talking Smack. And I think that I really want The Miz to win this one. I think that The Miz deserves to win this one more than Dolph does. Dolph has been cutting some good promos. I have to give him that. But I really think that The Miz deserves the win. I think The Miz is doing a great job as the Intercontinental Championship, and whenever Dolph wins the IC Championship, I don't feel too great about the IC Championship, and that might be just my opinion, but Miz is doing great things. I love the Miz and Maurice angle thing. All great stuff. I'm hoping for the Miz win here tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. I want a real good opponent, like an underdog, someone who overcomes the odds. Maybe Apollo Crews, someone like that, just to beat the Miz good. Like, Miz keeps using dastardly tactics or whatever, and then this babyface underdog comes along and actually takes the win. Well, Apollo Crews, maybe he's not that believable for it, but you know what I mean, like a really good moment for taking the title away. And Dolph Ziggler, he's won it a few times. It's the Miz and Dolph Ziggler, they did a program in 2014 at SummerSlam, so it's I don't think it's gonna be that great. Then we'll move straight on to, I think we've got, 2 matches left. So we'll do the Women's 6-Pack Elimination Challenge. Now, I was looking at this match and I'm like, this is going to be a hard one to choose. First off, you got Nikki Bella, who just came back from injury, so maybe they want to put the title on her, add a bit of prestige to it. She's already she was the longest reigning women's champion. All that cool stuff. Then you got Natalya, obviously, Natalya with her lineage and all that. Add a lot of prestige to the championship belt. Naomi has just got this cool new repackage. Just everyone seems to be behind her now. Carmella has turned heel and she's going after Nikki Bella. Maybe there's some stuff in that, maybe mixed in with in the match with Nikki Bella, Carmella. Maybe they'll have a bit of a moment themselves. But yeah, Becky Lynch, she's on the same level as Sasha, same level as Charlotte. That kind of build that they've got going, the same experience, the same 4-horsewoman deal. And I think that if Becky won it as well, she would give that the same kind of new era prestige to it. And then you move on to Alexa Bliss. Obviously has a strong showing in the last while. She beat Becky Lynch on her debut match. Obviously Alexa Bliss is very talented, could be, and just like Carmella, could get the win. So I'm actually going to put my money, if I was to put money on this, I would say that Becky Lynch gets the win. Nikki Bella kind of does a bit of dominating. Looks like Nikki's going to get the win. Carmella screws Nikki, and Becky Lynch picks up the win. Maybe pinning Carmella. Everyone's like, Carmella's after doing that to Nikki, and then Becky comes along, saves the day, but wins the title for herself. Adds that new era feel to the championship belt. And then the final match, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles has lost enough WWE Championship matches to know that maybe now's his time. Dean has held the title since Money in the Bank, and although there's been some high points to his reign, some good matches, some fun stuff, he's obviously great on the mic, everything like that. I think AJ Styles needs to pick up the win. He beat John Cena at SummerSlam. He showed him that he's the face that runs the place. He kicked out of all John's. It was an incredible match. The match at SummerSlam was incredible. It just showed that he was on the same level as John Cena. And if being on the same level of John Cena means anything, it means Cena wins lol, AJ wins lol. Hopefully AJ wins. That's my predictions. Dean is obviously great. I'd like to see the two of them feud for a while, but AJ gets to win here tonight. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, smash the like button. Tell me what your predictions are in the comments below. Extra points if you get them all right. And until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood Zebraman. Peace.